I've always been collected, calm and chill. And you know, I never look for conflict for the thrill. But if I'm feeling someone stepping towards you, can describe just what I'm feeling. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. My name's Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. What the heck am I doing? I don't even know. But this just reminded me of that song by 21 Pilots, so I figured that would be the intro. We are checking out the Smithereens, Behind the Wall of Sleep, and this is a paid donation by Little Lion, aka someone. And this is my first time checking out this group, so I have no information about them. The Smithereens. Oh yeah, I had looked up here. Smithereens is a noun, typically used in the phrase to smithereens, meaning to break into small, shattered pieces. It often describes the result of an explosion or something being smashed with great force. Okay, but now what's the band? You know? The Smithereens are an American rock band from Carteret, New Jersey. Well, maybe the first time we get a group from New Jersey. The group formed in 1980 with members Pat Dinizio, Jim Babjak, Mike Mesaros, and Dennis Dyken. This original lineup continued until 2006 when Mesaros left the band and Severo Hornacion took over on bass guitar until Mesaros' return in 2016. So they've been going for a while. I mean, for a band that maybe I hadn't heard before, you know, being together for this, if they're still active, that's more 45 years they've been going. That's insane. Okay, well, very cool names in here as well, especially Severo Hornacion. I wonder where he's from. Maybe Italian. All right, well, Behind the Wall of Sleep it is. Not sure if I have heard this, probably not, but I will let you know. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. Let's go. Chill, guy.
Now I know
I thought he was gonna smash the guitar there for a second. Behind the wall of sleep. I like this sound. You know what? Just physically speaking, they look like maybe a group of introverted nerds that decided to form a band, and they somehow found success because they were talented. First things first, we hit the like. I subscribe to the Smithereens Vivo, and I'll have a link of the original channel, the original video, down in the description below. What year did this song come out? Based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like the end of the 80s decade, like 1988 or something. Release date 1986. Fair enough. From the 80s. Okay, this is another one that's going on the 80s playlist. Man, this group, what can I tell you guys? It has this sound of like punk rock. Like it does have that classic 80s, but a little bit more punk that was being, I guess, you know, sort of becoming in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, is a bit of that more punk aspect of it, which I guess it could mirror the punk rock or the older rock of the 70s. Like I'm thinking of the Ramones and bands like that, but with the 80s sound and a little bit more pop-ish, right? Okay, the lyrics here. I'm gonna have to look up the description because he mentioned she's describing this girl. Right? He's obsessed. He likes this girl. She has the infinite legs and she has beautiful hair and stuff like that. He's deep into her, the idea of her, I guess. She had hair like Jeannie Shrimpton. that's she had hair like Jeannie Shrimpton back in 1965. That is like a great description, but at the same time something so difficult to rhyme with. It really gets stuck in your head though, like you just immediately picture it. Jeannie Shrimpton, 1965. Somebody looked it up before me. Okay. Okay, alright. She has that bit of like Jackie Kennedy kind of hair. Looks pretty good. Alright. She had legs that never ended. I was halfway paralyzed. She was tall and cool and pretty, and she dressed as black as coal. You really like, you can picture her, right? It's such a great description. But then he gets a little bit twisted. If she asked me to murder, or I'd murder, I would gladly lose my soul. So you would murder and you would lose your soul just because she asked, because she was pretty and had infinite legs. See, that's, yeah, as I'm nodding my head, but that is the mentality of a man, people, right? You know how it is. You like somebody and it's game over at that point. You're just like, you know, I'm mesmerized. I'll do anything for you, right? But you're not supposed to say it. You're not supposed to know, like, have them know that, right? You have to be smart about it. Be strategic, for God's sake. But either way, then he kept dreaming, and it's like he was having this daydream of her playing in a band, like he was like sort of, he was mixing things up. I'm in a band, I like her, now she's playing in a band. Well, she held a bass guitar and she was playing in a band, and she stood just like Bill Wyman. Now we gotta look up Bill Wyman. Because sometimes we gotta do research in these songs. Bill Wyman. What's the going back to the lyrics here? She stood just like Bill. How did Bill stand? Like prominently? With confidence and assertion? Either way. So was Bill, English guitarist of the Rolling Stones. Ah, okay. William George Wyman. Okay. We're going back to what are my tabs? Now I lie in bed and I think of her sometimes. I even weep. That's kind of that's a bit intense, you know. Not necessary. Although I like the rest of the song. I like the beat. I mean, like I said, these guys to me kind of look nerdy if I'm just you know, explaining their visual presence. A bit awkward, right? Not your typical rock star looking guys. It's especially since he just mentioned, you know, the bassist from Rolling Stone. Like, they're not Rolling Stone looking, but they're still pretty good. You know, they have good music. I think they have good sound. It's very fluid, right? Sort of continuous. It's something that you hear. It's nice to listen to, and then it's like, boop, it's done. Don't have to you know, kind of dive too much deeper into it. I'm sure if you were living in this era, you would understand the references and not have to look them up as I have. But either way, okay, I like this group. Why not? What the heck? I'll put them on the 80s playlist. And if you guys have more suggestions, comment, hit the like, subscribe, and at the end, do a flip. Till the next.